Hello my crafty friends, I am Emily and I am excited to be here for a special episode of the Craft Corner featuring none other than cosplay options in honor of Comic-Con, an international convention that is occurring at the end of July in San Diego. Today we will take a look at how to make your own arm bracers and beautiful accent marks that are intricate and do not require the use of an artistic hand, which is wonderful news for me, as well as how to leatherize and add texture to craft foam for all of that detail work, and finally how to make a crown using something I'm newly obsessed with called InstaMorph. Without further ado, let's dive right into this episode of the Craft Corner. Aluminum foil has many uses, one of which is to add texture to flat surfaces, and it is a fabulous way to leatherize basic craft foam. Ball up a sheet of aluminum foil and unfold. This creates hundreds of ridges that can be transferred into the craft foam using an iron. I typically hold the iron into place for approximately 10 seconds with a moderate amount of pressure. Upon removing the iron, you can see the texture transferred into the craft foam to create a leather effect. Spray paint will not compromise the texture. Here you can see the difference between the untreated craft foam and the textured craft foam. This is a great technique for cosplayers making armor or crafters looking to add a little dimension to their projects. I have a new obsession by the name of InstaMorph. These tiny white pellets are a polymorph thermoplastic. In simpler terms, they are moldable once they reach a certain temperature. Using my heating gun, I began heating a small handful of the InstaMorph pellets. You'll want to be careful to keep the heating gun moving, and in time you will begin to see the pellets change from an opaque white color to a translucent clear. Some pellets will heat faster than others, so I used a fork to gather them together and target certain areas until they were all entirely translucent. At this point, the InstaMorph is ready for shaping. It will be hot, so be careful when using your bare hands. I rolled the InstaMorph to create long horns that I will attach to a headband. This will be the basis for my crown. The longest spike was centered on the headband. I then began to roll shorter lengths to create a tiered effect. A little InstaMorph goes a long way. Once it is hardened to its solid plastic shape, it will turn opaque white once again. Now it is time to attach it to the headband. An amazing thing about InstaMorph is that you can reheat and reshape over and over. In this case, I reheated the very end until it was clear. Once translucent, I wrapped it around the headband and waited for it to cool and harden, securing it in place. The process was repeated with all the other spikes. I then used my e-brush and a black Sharpie to add color to the dried plastic. The e-brush allows me to get into small areas with the greatest control. Once all the spikes were colored, I used a gold metallic luster from Deco Art and a paper towel to add gilded accents. The final step was using my hot glue gun to add gold glitter sprigs between each spike. Details make all the difference in the world, and as a final result, we have a fantasy crown that is entirely unique. PVC pipe has many uses, and in this case, as an arm bracer, I used a Dremel tool to cut the PVC pipe down to size and a heat gun to shape it to my arm. A coat of spray paint created the base color, and then I was ready to add accents by using my cut and boss. I selected a border cutting die and used basic craft foam as my material. The cut and boss is my best friend for jobs like this. I lack a steady hand to cut out any intricate details that are perfectly uniform. The cut boss cuts through craft foam like butter, and there are so many cutting dies on the market that I can choose details for my projects without needing to be an artist. I sprayed the foam with a gold metallic spray paint and used Scotch Super 77 spray adhesive on the underside of the craft foam. Do not overspray the craft foam. You only need a thin coat of this adhesive as it is very strong. I positioned the details in place and finished it off with a clear coat of polyurethane spray to seal it. Once dry, I used the Deco Art Gold Metallic Luster to add a bit more dimension to the accent pieces. A Q-tip was perfect for the detail work. You don't have to apply this evenly, as normal wear and tear is never even on metal. Fur was the last step of embellishment for the bracers. Using my hot glue gun, I secured the fur to both sides of the bracers, careful to keep the lay of the fur facing away from the bracers so it appeared to peek out from underneath. Final result, fantasy bracers for your next costume event. Well, that is it, my crafty friends. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Craft Corner. By all means, give us a big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully we will see you on another episode of the Craft Corner in the very near future.